Go into how you became the mayor of Solvay. I mean, it looks like 2019 is when you were voted
Um,
in. Is that right?
no, it
No.
started in 2017. I campaigned,
Okay.
and I campaigned for pretty much the entire summer. And I didn't become mayor till January 1st, 2018. But it was
Okay. So
definitely a
17.
uphill battle. You know,
Is that something that you knew you wanted to do? Are you from Solvay?
I've lived in Solvay my whole life.
Yeah. At what point were you like, hey, I think I could be the mayor here?
I always kind of thought about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm a little outspoken. I was younger than a lot of the people involved. And I guess some of my teachers said that I used to say this in school, but I said, you know what? I can be the mayor. But I ran for trustee first. I didn't just want to run
Okay.
without any experience. So I did run for a term before I became mayor.
Yeah.
And then basically I ran, and it was, I went against a very well-known incumbent who's a great guy. I just thought I could do better, and I wanted to go with a younger audience. I wanted to make the village, I wanted to bring the village modern. I wanted to bring it in the modern age.
Yeah.
I wanted young people to get involved. I wanted the field days back. I wanted to see a lot of parks and projects like come to life. And that stuff wasn't going on probably in the years of 2013, 14, 15. So I decided I was going to run, and it was a group of young people. We all got together. We were kind of like, just this young group of people. I was in my 30s at the time. And we got together and we made it happen. It was kind of like a movement. It was actually a movement. Like, you should have saw on election night. There was like 40 people outside the intersection holding up signs and just, hey, and all that stuff. And it was fun. It's fun. It's not a job. To me, it's passion. I don't consider this work. This to me is passion. And I love it.
2017, what was like an election did it look like back then? I mean, with social media, it was pretty big in 2017.
I was not on social media.
Okay.
Until I began this campaign. My neighbor says, Derek, if you want to attract
what are you doing?
these young people, you got to be on social media. I go, well, what's that? I was not a social media guy before I became mayor. In fact, I wouldn't say low profile. I was more old school. I'd go out a lot, shaking hands, talking to people. Once I started social media, that took on a thing of its own. I mean, right now we went from 0 to probably at least 3,500 followers just on my personal site. And then we share those through our other sites that is for the whole community. So up to 10, 12,000 people, plus Instagram, plus LinkedIn, and plus stuff like this now. I didn't do this years ago. So, I mean, this is the new way of communicating. Like the newspaper, when I first ran for office, they had a newspaper ad with a horrible picture of me, by the way. And I'm like, who wants to read that? I want to go to people's houses. I want to go to the parks, the pools. I want to go on the street. I mean, when I campaigned, I was on street corners. Hey, who wants to talk? Anybody want to talk to me? And that's how we still do it.
So that was the strategy. You're like, I'm just going to get out there. I'm going to talk to as many people as possible, and I'm going to give this the best go I can.
The strategy is outwork everybody. Create a situation where nobody can compete. There's 7,000 people that live there. 3,500 are registered. Half of those 3,500 will vote. So you have about 1,600, 1,700 people that will participate in the process. My goal is to talk to as many of those people as possible. Not once, but twice. And basically run on a record, have pictures, have video, have something to prove what you've done. Not just say, I don't like when people, they knock on doors and they're like, oh, vote for me. I'm going to promise you all this stuff. I don't tell people that. I tell people what I've done, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it. And I show them my record, which right now, I got to be honest with you. I'm proud of it. I'm going to be humble. I'm proud of my record. $18 million is brought in this community in the last 7.5 years. No mayor in the history of the village of Solvay has ever brought that type of money in this community. And that's been proven. You can fact check that. I hope people watching this will fact check that. We have more streets being paved now more than ever, more sidewalks. Every single park has been either rebuilt, remodeled, revamped. Solvay Pool has been completely restored. Brand new bathhouse, brand new liner, brand new splash pad, brand new pickleball court. Everything at Solvay is brand new. And we still support the youth center because we love the youth center. And I want to give them even more money if I win next year. And we support our police. I mean, I'm actually endorsed by the Teamsters. These are big accomplishments, and I'm proud of them. I'm humble, but I am proud, and I'm going to tell everybody what I've done.
One thing that kind of stands out, you said that literally a quarter of the people in Solvay vote.
That's it.
Is that standard for like a municipality like that? Like, it seems like that's not very much.
For small towns, it seems standard because most of the time people only come out during presidential or gubernatorial years. I stay very far away from Washington politics and state politics. In fact, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to be involved in that. I think that system is completely broken. You have to continually try to fix those systems. But I know on the local level, I can make an impact within 5 minutes. Just before I came here, there was a huge thing just happened in the village. I mean, someone had fallen. There was a street had some issues. There's some issues with one of the utilities. I like that people can call me. I can go down there within 2 minutes. I told this person, I'll be at your house in 2 minutes. That's what local government can do. You can have an impact on your neighbors, the kids, the school, the family, the teachers, the businesses. It's local because you're there and there's no outside influence. But unfortunately, only a quarter of the people participate in the process. So,
well, you bring up a great point. You know, how many people are hyper focused on national politics? And it's like so many things you just can't, you know, you can have an opinion, but does it really matter? You're one of hundreds of millions of people in the US. Like, if you want to make a difference, your best chance is doing it local.
You know what I've been telling people? I stole this line from one of my fellow mayors. I'll give him a shout, Hank Chapman. I stole this from Hank Chapman. There's no Republican or Democrat way to pave a road, build a park, or support your police. It's common sense. Like, it doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're on. Like, I tell people, the literature I pass out, we don't promote a political party.
That's what I was going to ask too. It's not like a two-party system at the mayor level, right?
Well, it is. It is. Solvay. I don't like that. But here's why I don't promote a political party. I want people to see me at their house. And here's what I tell them. If you like what I've done or what I want to do, then you vote for me. If the other guy comes to your house and you think that person has a better idea, then you should vote for that person. I can't tell anybody who to vote for. I mean, just before I came in this building, you heard that phone call I took. I had someone wanting to donate to the campaign. We're not accepting donations. I don't want a fundraiser. I want people to keep as much money in their pockets because that's really what it's all about. People vote their wallets, and I want people to be successful. I don't need donations. I do this, again, for passion and heart. Like, this is not a job for me. It's passion. That's the difference. I think some people, they want to have a career in politics. That's the most dangerous thing anybody could ever do or want to do. I think if you want a career in politics, it's a very fine line because when you go higher and higher and higher, more people try getting in your head or they try to influence you. I like on this level that you can't influence me. You can't buy me. You can't control me. You can't change my mind. I'm going to do what's right for the people. Yeah. And that's what you got to do. Do what's right for the people.
Yeah, and I feel like people can see that, right? As you just said, if someone comes that has a better offer, then, you know, you want what's best for Solvay and the people of Solvay. And if you're the best option, great. If you're not, I mean, it is what it is, right?
It's the will of the people. I can't control people. It's the will of the people.
Today's episode of Upstate Impact is brought to you by Renewal by Andersen of Central New York. Summer's here, and it's the perfect time to upgrade your windows. With Renewal by Andersen's exclusive Fibrex material and expert installation, you'll get a cooler, more energy-efficient home that looks as good as it feels. Click the link in our show notes to schedule your free quote today. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service. When you stepped into office back in 2018, did you have any idea what it was going to be like? Or were you just like, let me get there and I'm going to work hard and figure it out?
I'm going to tell you this. I remember waking up on November the 8th, 2017. I felt like I got hit by a train because I was up for 24 hours straight, just really decompressing because I was up early in the morning, up all day, making phone calls, holding signs. And then, you know, we obviously had a nice little victory party after. And I felt like I got hit by a train because I was like, oh, I won. We got to do this now. Because I was the guy that wasn't supposed to win. Like, nobody thought I was going to win. I was the only one who won. Everybody else I ran with lost.
Did you think you were going to win? Or were you...
I knew in my heart I was going to win because I knew nobody could outwork me. I literally went to every house twice. And I had people throwing rocks at me. I had some people welcome me for like family dinners. I had people saying, oh, you're great. I had people saying, we hate you. But when I won, I felt like I accomplished something for everybody. It was a movement for us young people. And I was 30.
So how old were you?
I was 37 at the time. Now I'm 45. Big difference. 8 years makes a big difference. But I remember waking up and I said, I'm going to go into this. I'm going to give it my all. If I'm only going to be here for 4 years, one term, I'm going to give it my all. I didn't even think about running again. That was like that didn't happen until years later. But I woke up, had people calling me, some of which I was surprised. Some
congratulating.
Yeah. But I basically said I knew it was going to be an uphill battle because I had kind of broken the establishment and I was the only one that won, which means they didn't want me to win. So that was a tough first 2 years, couple years just warming up to each other. And there was conflict. It's no secret. But it got better as time went on. I think I kind of grew up a little bit. I think people started accepting me more. And I think we figured out how to work together. That's working together. You know what's funny? Working together. If everyone would just work together, regardless of what side of the aisle you're on, you would accomplish so much more things. And that's what we're doing now. That's what we're doing now. That's why the board gets along. I get along with everybody. Every single one of them.
So that's really what you've learned is that
you got to work together.
Got to compromise a little.
You have to compromise. You have to compromise. You can't always get what you want, just like the song. Yeah. But you get what you need.
Yeah.
Is that how the lyric goes?
Something like that. Yeah. So you talk about compromise. I mean, facing opposition, obviously, when you're running is one thing, but then once you get in office and people aren't happy, I mean, how do you learn to deal with you're never going to please everyone.
Never.
But you are the mayor for everyone in Solvay.
I'm the mayor for the people that love and hate me.
How do you balance that? How do you try to at least, hey, you may not like me, but you're going to maybe respect what I do, or you can at least see the value that I bring?
Just do what's right. If you just do what's right and you're honest with people, most of the time they'll be understanding. They may not like you. They may not love you. They may not even respect you. But when you do what's right and you can theoretically prove it and show someone, whether it's in an action or a picture or a video, they will say, and honestly, I've seen hearts and minds change. They do change. I had people that hated my guts. Guts.
Give me an example of like a time where I followed through with the project. People, I think, respected that.
Here's one thing. A lot of our projects got delayed after COVID because the federal government shut down and funding was delayed. I kept telling people, like, we have two huge projects going on right now. Milton Ave is going out to bid in 2 weeks. It's a $9 million project. And Cogswell Ave, we're redoing all of Cogswell Ave. Cogswell Ave got delayed. And it was supposed to be delayed even more. Thankfully, we reversed it. We had Cogswell start early, and because of Milton Ave's delay. But people, they were, I wouldn't say the word antsy. They were impatient. People get impatient, but it's okay to be impatient. I get impatient. Like, I want things done like this, like immediately. But as long as you tell everyone why and you explain it, it should work itself out. I'm proud to say right now, Cogswell Ave started. You got hundreds of thousands of dollars in new sidewalks being installed as we speak, literally as we do this. All grant funded, which is fantastic. The $9 million project through Milton Ave, that's going out to bid. I just
like the same thing, like sidewalks and...
Well, yeah, that's everything. And then even down on the other side of Milton Ave, we got a lot of nice buildings being renovated. Yeah. A lot of nice buildings being renovated.
Familiar with one of them.
And we can talk about that in a little bit if you want.
Yeah. Well, and talk about how you attract people to come to Solvay. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of positives. It's close to the city, right? All the things you've helped to do to bring the area up. How do you? Is that the same thing? Just network, talk to people, let them see the value of the.
Here's what I tell everybody: the village of Solvay, out of any village in Onondaga County, still has a core community. There's what's the word? There's culture there. It's not just a place people go to bed and go to work and don't talk to each other. We have a library, which is now a community center, basically, that has more programs than any library in Central New York. I will go on record saying this. Solvay Carnegie Library, with our director, Brian Rollins, I'm actually going to an event right after this. Basically, they have more programs than anyone. That's the only Carnegie Library in Central New York, in Onondaga County, in the state of New York.
You mean like programs for kids and for adults?
Carnegie Library, the only other one is in Philadelphia, I think.
Okay.
Our library is second to none. It's been completely renovated, has more programs for kids and adult. We have adult programming now. We have lots of seminars in there, whether it's how to do your taxes, how to take your blood pressure, how to do estate planning, how to plant a garden, how to do chair yoga. All that stuff is happening in Solvay with record turnouts. And we got a pool is better than any pool. The only one that comes close, I'll give the Village of Jordan a shout out because they have a great mayor, Casey Brim. He's a fantastic guy. Our pool, though, we had 3,000 people use that pool. A small community pool. Wow. 3,000 people.
That's almost half the people that live in Solvay.
But think about it. It gets usage. not everyone can afford a pool. And we had a pretty hot summer for July and August.
It's not worth it to afford a pool sometimes.
I wouldn't put a pool right now, unless the house
Syracuse,
came
New
with it.
York.
But yeah, so we have the pool, we have the library, we have a downtown, which is currently being renovated. One of those beautiful buildings is your building, and your next door neighbor. So I mean, look at all that. That's millions of dollars in improvement. Think about it. You have one of the biggest industrial bases across the street. Now you have all of this improvement in all these historic buildings. You have the biggest independent bank next door, Solvay Bank, which is a huge sponsor of the field days, by the way. And our electric is cheaper than anywhere around, contrary to what anybody thinks. I love when people say, well, my bill went here. No, listen, if you take your cumulative bill throughout the year, our bills are well 50% cheaper than anybody else's. You're not going to have electric. My bill this month was $30.
Yeah.
Where are you getting a $30 electric bill? And honestly, in today's economy, if you can save 50% on your utility month in, month out, that's money in people's pockets for like the end of the year, for Christmas or for Thanksgiving or for whatever extras you want to give your kids. And I think that's why people choose to live in a village. You choose to live in a village because you want the accessibility to local shops and stores and businesses and your neighbors. And you're finding people. Solvay is what I call a 5-generation village. We have people whose families have been there over 100 years. Think about it. Kids are coming back to be closer to their parents. Kids want to raise their kids where they grew up. Kids want their kids to go to school in the schools they grew up in. Like me, I live in my family home, 70 years. And before that, they had a home on Pennock Street. But like my family's been here since the early turn of the century. I'm a 4th generation at this point. Yeah. My great-grandparents came here from Italy, worked on the railroad, and that's what Solvay is. And not knocking all these other communities. They're good people. They're all hardworking people. But the village of Solvay, there's just something special there. Once you're Solvay, it's always in your blood. It doesn't go away.
Yeah.
When you're a Bearcat, you're Orange and Blue through and through.
Well, I mean, I've been to some of the events. We talked about the field days, and you guys do like the Christmas lighting ceremony, and a lot of villages and places do that. But you're right. There's a special feel. It's like people are excited to be in Solvay. It's a good vibe, and I've always had, like, my grandparents lived in Solvay.
Yeah.
Solvay Glass was a company in our family.
Yeah.
And so I've always had a connection. Granted, I live over in Camillus, one over, but that's just where I grew up.
You can always come back. You can always come
well,
back.
they're always very inviting, right? And that's what I was going to ask about the library. Is that open to just people in Solvay? Are you guys pretty open to having people from outside of Solvay just that they can understand what the area has to offer?
The library is open to the public.
Yeah, that's
and it's actually used, believe it or not, we have data. It's actually used more by town people too. The town of Geddes uses our library a lot. So Lakeland, which is also part of the town of Geddes, Westvale. So those 3 hamlets, Solvay, Lakeland, Westvale, use that library a lot. Same thing with the swimming pool, the school district, obviously, whether it's people from West Hill or Solvay school district. So the library right now, to me, is the heartbeat of the village with the swimming pool. But all those things combined, when you see the renovations, when you see whether it's some of the classic spots, it's coming back to life. That's what the vision was. Bring Solvay back to life. That's all this was ever about, is bringing Solvay back to life. In the field days, thousands of people came. Think about it. We raised more money than ever before. You had Solvay Bank, Geddes Bank, John's Auto, CNS Engineers, Gallagher. I don't want to miss anything. Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. I mean, those businesses raised more money than we ever had before. More people came to the field days than ever before. More vendors were there than ever before. The fireworks are the biggest fireworks any village has ever put on in the history of any village. And I'm proud of that. And guess what? We're already planning next year. Hopefully I'll win this election, because if I don't win, I don't know if the other person running against me wants the field days, but I'm not going to take
election this year?
Yeah, I'm up for election in 59 days.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So there's a lot at stake.
Well, that's why you're doing this.
No, I'm doing it because you asked me.
I'm kidding.
No, I've been knocking on doors every day, and I don't want to make this all political. Listen, people don't want to hear about all that. I mean, if you want to vote for Baichi, vote for Baichi. I'll be at your doorstep from now until October 25th and beyond.
You talk about Solvay Electric and how it is discounted utilities. I mean, we've noticed that. We've had property in Solvay. But I had Mary Thompson on, who's the head of the home builders and renovation locally in Central New York, and she talking about how they're starting. I think in this coming year, you're not allowed to build with gas, right? You need to use electric in New York, moving away from fossil fuels. So that's even more of a reason to move to Solvay.
I'm going to say something I probably shouldn't say. That is the stupidest piece of legislation. Whoever's in charge of that, I don't know how people could support that. Nobody should tell anyone how to build a house.
Yeah, well, she talked about how New York isn't ready for it.
You don't have the capacity.
It's good in theory, but it's exactly
You don't
with the
have
grid.
the capacity.
Exactly.
Think about it. Most of our energy and our supplemental power goes from Niagara Falls down to Long Island. Now, this is not an attack on Long Island or our neighbors down in New York City. Let's focus on upstate New York and central New York. Like, why should we have to be forced to do something like that? Now, that's something that's an issue. I gotta be honest. I don't agree with that. I think you should be able to build with whatever you want.
Yeah.
And that's just me. I'm not a builder.
I guess my point is that it makes Solvay even more incentivizing for a place to potentially move to.
Listen, National Grid's rates are going to be going up by how much? 20% over the next 5 years?
That's a lot.
Guess what? We're not. Here's what I tell everyone. Not only is Solvay Electric profitable, we're completely transparent. We have the best energy grid around. Our power never goes out. And most of our infrastructure is brand new. Most of it's brand new. We have a great electric company. We have a great electric. All of our utility workers are fantastic. The commission who's running it is great. We have a good group.
Is that quite a burden for Solvay to deal with a whole electrical department like that? Like you think of talking about Jordan and Marcellus, like they deal with National Grid, right? But you guys have your own.
No, it means we can make sure things run efficiently. We are not at the mercy of a monopoly or a utility. If something goes wrong, you call me, or you call Pete Reap, our superintendent.
Great guy.
But they always call
him too.
I love Pete Reap. I call him Downtown Petey Reap.
How often you mentioned, how Jordan has a great pool and, you really like the mayor there. How often are you dealing with other mayors in the area of different, do you guys get together? Do you kind of just share best practices?
Every single month. I love all my peers. I think my peers are all doing fantastic jobs in their communities. Each of us is different. Some of them I'm closer to than others. We meet once a month in the village of Liverpool. We have basically a mayor's association where we're members. We share ideas. If I have a question, I'm going to ask them how they handle licensing and permitting of garage sales. That's an issue in Solvay. People are having garage sales 24 hours a day, every day. It's starting to be a traffic issue. There's garbage around. There's tents in people's. Sounds
like a pop-up store.
That's the thing. We also work together, especially with a lot of the dispensaries and these. What's the term? I don't want to use the wrong term. Their stores. Are they marijuana dispensaries?
Yeah,
yeah. And the state never really gave us guidance on that. The village of Solvay, they actually opted out because there was no state guidance. We didn't know how to regulate it, how to get the tax revenue, where to place it. You don't want it near schools and churches. So a lot of us dealt with that. During COVID, we all had to figure out how to deal with that. We got a great group. And you know what's great about this group? It's so nonpartisan. Everybody in that mayor's association gets along. I respect them all. They're all wonderful people. And
how many?
There's 15 of us. Okay. And of the 15, usually at least 10 show up. So 3/4 are represented. And sometimes the trustees come too. But it's a good time. We eat food. We joke with each other. And I can call any one of them up at any time. They'll answer my phone call. And we all work very well together.
Yeah, that's got to be a huge resource for you.
Oh, it's great.
And one
of our mayors. No. One of our mayors, I got to give him a shout out. Bill Brazil is going to be the president of NICOM next year of all New York State. So that's a huge resource. And he's a great American. If he watches this, Bill Brazil is a fantastic guy from Manoa. Bill Brazil, he's a good friend of mine. I love Bill Brazil.
Are you one of the more senior members as far as being a mayor? Because, you're coming up on almost 10 years.
Go figure. It's me, Gary Butterfield, and Casey Brim and Bill Brazil. The four of us have been there the longest. And I remember when I was the new guy, that's kind of interesting.
You're probably always asking questions.
Well, because it's funny, when I go to things I normally don't dress up. I usually have a hat on and a t-shirt and shorts. I don't like to dress up. This is dressed up. Right?
I
gotta go to lunch after this. But someone on Facebook of all things last night said, our mayor wears a backwards cap and that's not professional. And people were coming to my aid saying, well, he gets things done. What, we need a dress code now to be mayor? It's funny you bring that up because nothing bothers me more. When I first became on the board, these guys would all wear 3-piece suits, alligator shoes and gold. And I was like, what is this? The Oscars, the Grammys? We're here to build roads, build parks. I consider myself a street person. I barely use my office. Barely. I've been in my office, like I stay downstairs greeting people in the village hall. I don't want to sit in a corner
third
office.
floor of that Woods
No, I
Road
want everyone.
office.
I want to shake everyone's hand. I want to welcome them. I want to open the door. Hey, how you doing? What's your name? You just move here? Do you know how many people have come to the village hall that I have met? Hey, what's your name? Oh, I'm Bob. Are you new? Yeah, I just moved here. Hi, I'm Derek. I'm the mayor. Talk to me. That's how you meet people, right out in front of everybody. I like to be on the front lines.
That's cool. Yeah, it's so you're coming up on 10 years. You've probably learned a few things.
Made a few mistakes.
Yeah,
learned a
like
lot.
everyone.
I mean, I can admit it.
If all goes well here this fall and you're reelected, what's the big push for the next few years in Solvay?
If all goes well and the will of the people is that I get another 4 years, we're going to see the biggest infrastructure transformation project that the village has ever seen. I want every single building on the main street renovated. I want to make sure every single street, which we're almost at, is completely paved. I want to make sure we build a new park at Mountaintop Park. It's at the top of the hill, the old Mountaintop Park. I want to make sure the pool gets a new pavilion in the back, and I'd like to maybe expand the splash pad. I want to make sure the field days is bigger than ever before, year in, year out. Maybe even try to bring in a semi-local or semi-national band. And I'm talking like
not just your band?
No. No, Heyday does play the field days, and Heyday has played out in the last 10 years. I mean, me and Jordan Glassy, we have a little band called Heyday. It's an acoustic duo. I mean, we've played over 500 shows.
Awesome.
We've opened for the Gym Blossoms. We
Really?
played the Balloon Fest.
Okay.
Yeah, we've done some. Heyday is a passion. I mean, I'm a musician at heart.
Funny, it's called Heyday.
Heyday.
Now that you're not doing 50 shows a year
No,
anymore.
yeah, that was back in our heyday.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to basically see the village thrive. I want to make. I live and I breathe it 24/7. I sleep with my phone on my pillow. I will leave my house at any given hour if I have to be there for somebody. I basically want us to be number one. I want everything: new infrastructure, new buildings, more businesses, more of everything. And I want to make sure that we are there for the people. I want people to, when I'm done with all this, I want people to say, that Derek, he gave it his all. He put his whole life into this. And I think it shows because the village has never looked better right now. It really, and it's going to be even better. We have millions of dollars being poured into this community, millions. People developing buildings such as you guys. This big federal project we have going on. We have a new bridge being built on Gearlock Road. I mean, we're close to the fair. We're close to the city. Eva's restaurant borders us. It's basically in Solvay almost. Twin Trees, all these places, Mona Lisa's, all this stuff. And, it's a community. It's one big giant community, but Solvay is in the center of it all. Solvay is the donut hole in the middle of the town of Geddes, where all the culture is, where all the action is. And we have great services, the fire department, the police, the electric. I see Solvay having home values are going to go up, which is good for all homeowners. Think about people who want to downsize. They're going to make a lot of money off their houses. I also want to see more affordable housing or apartments for senior citizens as well as veterans. And I like to make sure that we see I want people to come here and raise kids and go to school and spend money here and basically invest in their yards and put up decks and fences. And I want people to basically live and enjoy Solvay and raise their families.
That's well said. And I guess I just want you to take it one step further is, as the mayor, what do you do to get all that accomplished? Like, what is your biggest role in all this? Is it just connecting people, networking with people, trying to attract by having these conversations, saying, hey, we're going to do everything to support you as a business coming in?
I'm glad I listened. You literally segmented what I was going to go into. Here's the thing. I am basically a project manager between all the department heads, all the community liaisons. I bring people together. Like, I can admit I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I know who the smartest people are. So just like today, I'm on this podcast with you. You're an intelligent person. You're investing in our community. I'm going to go to a luncheon after this. And basically, those are people who are also vested in our community. And then later today, I'm going to go to a little get together where there's going to be some very important people there. I bring all these people together and I talk about my love of Solvay and saying, how can we work together to be number one? Whether it's a developer, whether it's a bank president, whether it's a teacher, whether it's a librarian, the chief of police, just bringing everyone, as long as you know who the players are and you bring people together, that's how things get done. That's all I do. I facilitate
Connect
people.
the dots.
That's all I do. And you let the experts put their magic dust on all the projects. Like, am I a contractor? Could I tell you what like certain binder is for pavement or what type of concrete to use? No, here's what I say. I want this sidewalk done, make it happen. And I make sure we get it for the best price, or I make sure we use the best contractor, or I say, listen, I'd like to have this project done. Can we go out to competitive bid? Or, you know, we need to work with a local bank to make sure everything's good. And because when you invest in your local banks, that money goes out to the community. It makes us all successful. It's macroeconomic. If anyone uses that word anymore,
sure.
Macroeconomic.
You have a, big following in the village of Solvay. Let's say they're listening to this podcast, and your energy, especially with your passion for Solvay, is contagious. And someone's like, hey, I want to get involved, right? We talked about on the national level how it's hard to have any sort of impact, but the local level, you can have an impact. And if someone is motivated to do something, but they don't know what to do, how do you recommend someone getting involved to help your mission of bettering Solvay?
I think that's one of the coolest things you've said. You want to know why? I'm always looking for the next big thing or big people. I hope there's someone who's 25 years old, 30 years old listening to this saying, you know what? That kind of sounds like fun. Maybe I can do it. I welcome you to the fold. I welcome any and all new people, regardless of your background, what you believe in. You come in. If you live in the village of Solvay and you want to be involved, you could be the next mayor. Just get involved. All you got to do is, that's what I did. I showed up to a meeting one day. I showed up to a meeting. I was like early 30s, 31, I think. And I was watching what was going involved. And I go, I could do this. I think I could do it better. And I think I could do it more efficient. And I think I could have fun doing it. Have fun though. Don't let politics be you can't let politics control like you're getting angry or yelling or your sleep. Like politics, take the word out of it. Just focus on the people, focus on the community. But if you're young and you're listening to this, I want you to be involved. And you can call me 315
I was just gonna say
558-2511. You call me anytime.
And because what specifically, like show up to a board meeting, show up to a village town hall meeting, show up to volunteer for whatever.
Show up to volunteer. We got a tree committee. We got Neighborhood Watch. There's local organizations, food pantry. If you want to get involved, all you got to do is just take a step. That's like saying, hey, I want to work out. I want to train. Well, guess what? You're not going to train unless you go to the gym. Or I want to be in a band. You're not going to be in a band unless you learn how to play your instrument. Like actions speak louder than words, but it all starts with a dream. And here's what I tell everybody. If you want to get involved, I welcome you with open arms. I want more young people involved. I want the new people involved. I want new ideas involved. Because here, think about it. I mean, I'm not going to be the mayor forever. It's got to end one day. I hope it doesn't end in November, but whoever wants to be involved, I welcome you. And we actually have some newer board members. We have some young board members, and they're both great people, and they're future leaders. So
yeah. Well, not to sound cliche, but it takes a village, right? You can only do so much as the mayor, right? Or your board members still needs the community involved, and that's what matters.
A village, and it's one day at a time, one step at a time, and you just dream. Like I'm a dreamer. I'm a dreamer. That's how things happen. When I see what we've done in just a short, 8 years is kind of a long time, but what we just did this term, it's amazing. It's a transformation. I mean, if you follow my Facebook, you see the photos, the videos, and just keep dreaming.
Yeah. Well, Derek, I appreciate you coming on. You've been super supportive in our investment in the village of Solvay. It's exciting to see where the whole
and
town is going.
I want to thank you guys. I mean, if people are we allowed to talk about that? If people who are watching and listening, it's like you guys are investing in our community. That is huge. What you're doing in our main street, right at the epicenter of the east side of town, that's going to be beautiful. Once all that's done, that is going to be, and it's Solvay proper. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Solvay proper. You follow it on Instagram.
Absolutely.
And
we're framing soon.
I want to come by and check things out and see how it's coming. Let me know.
Well, yeah. Best of luck this fall with the re-election, and obviously excited to see where Solvay goes, and hopefully have you on soon, a few years later, to see.
Listen, if I'm successful and we win and we get through the finish line, I'd love to come back right after the first of the year.
All right. We'll book it.
So fingers crossed. The only thing I'd like to just say is just thank you to everyone who's believed in me, and just it's a humbling experience. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Like this is the dream of a lifetime doing this. And if it's 4 more years, I welcome it with open arms. And if it's not 4 more years, it's been the dream of a lifetime. But I'm going to be a positive thinker. I think we're going to do pretty good, and I'm not going to stop.